To the obese and previously obese redditors, what's something about obesity that most people do not know about? Hi Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I eat toilet paper. In hot weather, if you don't remember to apply antiperspirant on your thighs, or stupidly wear underwear that is loose on the legs, the insides of your thighs can rub together enough to start bleeding. The dreaded chub rubs. I've never been obese, only overweight, but I have flabby, thick thighs. This is basically why I decided to lose weight. I used to be 296 pounds at 18 and carrying that up till then wore the cartilage in my knees out, so I'm basically an old lady at 26. So, if you are obese right now, I suggest working on keeping your knees and ankles strong. Because if you manage to find a great paying job that requires you to stand on your feet for over 8 hours, and you actually like the job, your knees may give out on you like they did me. I miss my job and working so much, and doctors don't believe my pain or annoyance with leaning on something when I stand up. Also, women's plus size clothing does not need to have glitz threader and butterflies on every damn shirt. The flip side of this is if you do manage to lose weight, ideally while still young and before damage done to cartilage is suggested, you feel like a freaking ninja at -100 lbs and so on. I'm 5'8". 225 pounds was a tough carry for me. Got down to 125 and suddenly was ghosting around people in supermarket aisles, beating defenders down the pitch in adult soccer league play. Psychologically, it's just such a lift not to have that weight anymore. To anyone trying to lose weight, I swear, you feel better with every pound off. A lot of people are still hard on themselves if they've only lost a pound or two in a stretch, but that's a pound or two less your body has to carry. Add enough of those up, and you really feel the difference. Too much cushion can actually impede the push-in. Even when you find clothes that fit you, 95% of the time they won't fit properly in one way or another unless they're extremely soft things like pajamas. Jeans are a problem if you have a big gut, but normal-ish legs. In order for the waist size to fit, the legs turn out very baggy. They assume you are fat all the way down. I don't want those low-fitting jeans below my belly, then it pinches stuff down there. That extra weight on a male, especially in the stomach area, greatly reduces your peanut size. The more weight you lose, the better off it is for your manhood. Less fat on the pubic mound and less pressure from your stomach being forced out etc. I know, trust me. It reduces the size, or you just can't see as much as before. Well, your peanut size doesn't grow or shrink with your obesity, it remains the same size. But the fatter you are, the more padded it is down there, so to speak, so less of it appears to stick out from your body. Plus with your big stomach you can't see down there as is. I went from 350 to 200, but now I'm at 270, and I was amazed how much bigger I looked and felt down there now that I could actually see it. A good visual would be this. Take a 8 inches carrot and lightly stick it in a new jar of peanut butter so it sticks straight up in the air on its own. That is you in decent shape. Now push the carrots down into the peanut butter halfway, which would simulate you getting fatter and your stomach and groin jutting outwards etc. That's the best way I can describe it from experience. I don't mean this in any offensive way, but your visual just absolutely horrified me. You have a way with words. That your level of confidence about yourself while being obese may seem normal, but when you become a healthy weight your confidence in yourself is tenfold. Some people are not at all helpful when you start losing weight. When I lost enough weight that it was noticeable to everyone who knew me, I started getting a lot of comments about how I didn't need to lose weight, because I looked so good as I was or whatever. I was like, no, I'm super fat and unhealthy and it would be nice if you supported me doing something I clearly need to do rather than trying to make me feel happy about being obese. Your body can often look worse after losing a significant amount of weight, and insurance will generally not pay to have the hanging skin removed. It can cost $10,000-$20,000 out of pocket to have it surgically removed or tightened. My thighs look like an old wrinkled butt from the front and my turkey wings, sagging skin from arms make me very self-conscious. Nevertheless, I still go to the beach and wear bathing suits because I love the beach. Speaking as a formerly obese person, being obese is painful in more ways than one. Carrying around all of that extra weight is really stressful on your joints, something I'm feeling intensely since losing 130 plus lbs. I had chronic pain before, and it's actually gotten worse since weight loss, because my posture sucks and my joints are weak as hell from 2 decades of obesity. Also, people told me all of my life to just put down the fork and I'll get better. Yes, eating less and moving more worked for me, which is why I continue to do it, but that doesn't address the underlying psychological reasons of why I overate in the first place. For example, I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, and in my 7-year-old brain, if I ate and ate and ate, maybe I would become fat and my abuser wouldn't touch me anymore. So I binged and gained weight, which led to unhealthy eating patterns that I am still fighting to break well into adulthood. So many obese folks are dealing with binge eating issues that were triggered by trauma, adverse life experiences, and I feel like people like me don't have any resources and face a lot of shame for how we dealt with our trauma. I know this is not the case for all obese folks, but it's more common than people think and obese people are often shamed for speaking up about it. But that doesn't address the underlying psychological reasons of why I overate in the first place. So much this. Many people who are severely obese have serious psychological problems that fuel the behavior and the way they get treated like it by everyone just makes it so much worse. Obesity is a lot more like alcoholism than people will admit. For me, I use food as an unhealthy coping mechanism. I emotionally eat and use food as a reward. I picked up these habits from my parents at a young age. As they got older, my dad's health declined because of what he was eating and drinking. This has scared me for the better to become a healthier individual. We also don't get the best sleep, with things such as sleep apnea and disruptive sleeping patterns because of being overweight or obese. We are generally lethargic. Lack of sleep can also increase weight gain. Right now, I'm trying to reduce my calorie intake and develop better sleeping habits since it has been unhealthy due to university and work. Visibility is the worst and most painful part. In high school, I got up to 240 pounds at 5 minutes and 11 seconds. It happened because I was coping with serious trauma by overeating. It sounds melodramatic, but becoming obese was almost like secondary trauma. It radically changed the way that I viewed myself and lowered my level of self-worth. It was like everything I privately, secretly hated about myself was suddenly public knowledge to every single person I met. It caused a host of other problems that slowed my recovery. Probably the most painful part is that it's an internal struggle made external. You want your struggles to be private, but your weight is the first thing people see about you. It's visible to the world. The world holds you in contempt for it, too. Everyone's fighting their own battle, sure, but drinking or any other number of vices is a more socially acceptable coping mechanism. People can hide their drinking without others noticing the consequences for years. The people around you tend to notice weight gain fairly quickly. I'm no longer obese, but there are still sometimes I see that sick, sad, miserable girl when I look in the mirror. I think she's still in me. I have to count every calorie every day to stave off my fear that the world will see her again. I had a dong of a client who is a plastic surgeon for rich girls tell me in the rudest way possible I am obese because of mental issues. I had been very unhappy for at least 15 years, and my girlfriend had recently dumped me, so I listened to him and went to a psychiatrist. I was diagnosed with bipolarity, severe depression and anxiety. I have been taking medication for a year and I can't believe how much weight I have lost without even trying. 25 kg. No diets. No exercise. I just somehow stopped eating as I used to. Don't be afraid to seek help. Listen to your shrink. Take your meds, smiley face. Mental illnesses will turn you against yourself without even knowing. Turns out the surgeon wasn't wrong. He's just an AOLA. Fighting off the crave. Feels like a demon creates a black hole in my stomach and then tries to possess me in order to get me to shovel food into my mouth. Worst part is, once the train starts, it just goes on its own and the demon just watches. Feels terrible. It's so freaking uncomfortable being huge, sweaty and breathless, only somewhat comfortable at home on the couch in your underwear. Dress up in a suit for a wedding and you're immediately too warm, itchy, stinky and grouchy. Never comfortable. Being fat sucks. This we all know. Some people decide to use surgery as a means to lose weight. This is not, in any way, the easy way out. Every weight loss surgery program is different, but for mine, there were so many hoops I had to jump through before I could even send in an application to my insurance to see if they would be willing to pay for it. Among other things, I had to attend monthly nutrition classes for 6 months. Each class cost $45, and if you missed one class, you had to restart from month 1 and pay all over again. I had to get medical records for 3+ years showing my weight problem, as well as records of any attempts I made to lose weight, i.e. Weight Watchers, Slim Fast, Atkins, etc. I had to attend a weight loss surgery and support group for at least 2 months, and also needed a psych evaluation. I was also weighed each month, and some programs require you to be actively losing weight for the 6 months you're in nutrition classes. Before you even have the surgery, you have to completely adjust your thinking and your behaviors, which is good. That's what will help you use the surgery successfully. But it certainly wasn't as simple as me walking into the doctor's office and walking out with a surgery date. The surgery itself is also no picnic. I was in so much physical pain that I cried 4 hours post-op. I have a fairly high pain tolerance, and for the first 4 days I was in so much pain I could hardly sleep and every day was miserable. I threw up a lot. Post-op, I couldn't swallow anything more than a tablespoon at a time, and even then, I would nurse that tablespoon for about 15 minutes, because I couldn't get it down otherwise. I threw up 4 weeks. I'm 12 weeks out and I still have problems with keeping some foods down just based on texture. I had to be on a liquid diet 2 weeks before surgery, and for nearly 3-4 weeks after. I still hate the taste of protein shakes. I don't regret that I did it. A lot of it sucked, but I know it was the right choice. In the year before surgery, I lost 100 pounds, and in the 12 weeks since, I've lost an additional 40. It was the right choice for me, but it was not, in any way, easy or cheating. I didn't walk into surgery obese and walk out of surgery wearing a dress size 2. There is a lot of work put into it, a lot more than people seem to think. Okay Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I eat toilet paper.